This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is Print on Demand Mastery, session 10. So we've covered sessions 1 through 9, and there was a lot of great content that was covered. We did a couple of exercises together. We did over the shoulder so you could see how to do everything, how to create and design, how to use Canva, how to create a printable, how to do different types of designs and use some of the features within Canva. We talked about some of the other tools that you could use. We talked about copyright, trademark. We went through the exercise of utilizing Printify. I also walked through several other print-on-demand providers that offer different features very similar to Printify. I liken it to if I'm selling on Amazon and I am selling on Walmart, there's going to be some similarities about the two platforms, but there's going to be differences. But the basic concept is going to be the same, that you have to create a listing. It requires a title and a description. It requires images. It requires a price and how you're going to get this item to the customer. So those basic concepts are the same. How you do it on that platform and the navigation to it might be different. So when it comes to your print-on-demand providers, there's going to be a lot of similarities with what they do and how they administer things. And then there would be some things that are very different. And so we went through the exercise of actually creating a design and uploading it to Printify and establishing our integration or attaching our account to our Etsy account. And then, going through that step of updating the title and the description, maybe even adding some more images using other tools like Placeit.net, and there's others that we listed throughout this whole exercise. And so I hope that you at least got through some of those exercises for printables or physical products. In addition to that, we went through books. I created a fake book for KDP, but we created a book for Lulu and for KDP and how to upload your images, what you design it in so that you can make sure it's the right dimensions and the sizes, talking about the cover and how the cover needs to look. So we went through that exercise in both of our book sessions. And then we also talked about other platforms besides Lulu and KDP. But again, there's going to be some similarities with the different providers and different tools. And so the essence of what has to happen is going to be pretty much the same. Action steps, title, description, images, the content itself, and then, picking a price. There's extra stuff when it comes to books, but for the most part, that's the gist of it. And so want to make sure that you have the opportunity to go back. I really want you to decide which one of the three you're going to do. I really want you to actually do one of the three and then come back and share that with the group. And if at any time you need some help on this journey, then you can always schedule anytime you want to, a free 20-minute coaching session. We can go through whatever you want. And trust me, it's not going to be 20 minutes. More than likely, it's going to be an hour. But I am happy to help you. I'm happy to help you with your design. If you want some help with the design, if you want me to create a design for you just to kickstart your business, I'd be happy to do that. If you want me to help with your printable, if you want me to design a printable or downloadable for you, I'd be happy to help you with that. If you want me to help you get started on your book, if you maybe got some family recipes or you're a photographer, you love to take pictures and you got all these great pictures, or maybe you want to create a kid's coloring book for the summer. Again, if you want some help getting that started, I am happy to help you with all of that. All you have to do is schedule a free 20-minute coaching session and we will block out the rest of the time so we can get this done because I need you to be successful. I don't want you to just take this course and not actually take action. I want you to apply everything that you learned because I'm hoping I gave you enough information to actually move your business forward and, build the momentum that you need to turn this into an income generating opportunity for you. So with that, this is session 10. We have one more session left, which is our 100% automation. So let's go through session 10. In today's session, we're going to be covering organic traffic and some selling strategies, paid traffic, cross-posting and listing, running, if you're going to run multiple Etsy stores or sell your products on multiple platforms, some of the things you need to consider. We're going to talk about bundles, and then we're going to talk about the next 90 days. Now, part of the next 90 days, we sort of talked about in session 9. We're going to continue that conversation today so that you can put together your game plan. If you don't remember that conversation, it was towards the end of session 9. You can always go back and listen to the replay, or you can just schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me, and we can go through it as well. So the replays are always in your back office, the eCom Sellers Mastery. If you don't see them at any time, please message me so that I can make sure I check with the VAs to figure out, just to make sure it got uploaded. They have been pretty good for the last 3 months. I'm actually quite proud of our team right now. So with that, let's talk about some organic traffic. So of course, the objective with organic traffic is to have your listings automatically show up on their own. That's really the goal. How you title it, what keywords you put in the title, the tags on it when it comes to Etsy. If you're going to run your print-on-demand business outside of Etsy, that's always an option as well. Etsy loves tags. Different platforms like different things. And so maybe you're going to put your print-on-demand designs on Amazon. Again, keep in mind Amazon and Walmart and their shipping, preferred shipping windows may or may not work out for you. You can always list your items on eBay and incorporate that whole shipping time. But we had that conversation in session 9. So these are things that you need to keep in mind when you're running your print-on-demand business and you're selling it on other platforms. If you decide you're going to sell your print-on-demand wares on the actual platforms themselves, like Zazzle or Redbubble or Gearbubble or any of those other print-on-demand platforms where you have the actual opportunity to put your products on the platform, you upload the design, and they'll actually print it and fulfill it for you. There are a few out there. And again, you'll have a list in your back office that you'll be able to go through and just decide which ones you want to work with. So if you want to work with one of them and not list on Amazon or eBay, you can do that as well. And then there's going to be some where they'll let you have a storefront. And we talked through the list, a few of them, not all of them, but we talked through a couple of them where they'll actually allow you to build a storefront on their platform, and you can just drive traffic to your storefront, sort of like a Shopify store, or if you're going to do Shopify. Regardless of what you decide to do, some platforms, there's going to be an easy way to get traffic to them because they're well known. And Amazon is well known. Walmart is well known. eBay is well known, but of course, Amazon takes their lunch money when it comes to getting traffic. So, the more chances that you can get your products like on Amazon, the better the chance that, you'll get a little more organic traffic than any other place. Now, you can go after platforms like the integration that exists between eBay and Bonanza, where you push your listings over to Bonanza using the eBay integration. And then Bonanza on the back end has the ability to have your listing show up on Google Shopping. Again, another way to get your listing seen without going through the hassle of setting up all of Google Shopping. So if you don't want to set up all of Google Shopping, use the integration with Bonanza, and then you can push your listings over. If you have never seen Bonanza, it is Bonanza, like the old Western name. I am so dating myself right now. But anyway, you can see some of the features with Bonanza. They take a percentage, depending on which level you select, and it'll take a percentage of your profits or charge you. And that way you can push your listings over to Google Shopping without having to go through the process of setting up a full-blown Google Shopping account. So that's another way, because look, at the end of the day, even though Amazon gets a lot of organic traffic on its own, because people think, I got to go buy something, so let me just look in the Amazon search and figure out what it is. I got to buy this, I don't know, phone case cover. Then I can go in the Amazon search and find my phone case. Well, people also go to Google. And if your item shows up organically in the Google search under Google Shopping, that doesn't hurt you. Doesn't hurt you at all. So another thing that you can consider. And you also want to look at the different levels when it comes to Bonanza. So I can escape for just a second, only because I actually do kind of like Bonanza, just so you guys know. So it's like a green, it's a green color, and I don't know, a muted green. And we're not talking about the movie. Oh, Sell on Bonanza at the top. And so when I talk about the different price, I think maybe at the bottom, affiliates, nope. Branding, nope. I don't want to log into anything. I want to find the option of, these are all their stuff. Okay, import, open a store. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to find out. Oh, let me just do it this way. Bonanza listing fees. Something will come up. All right, so transaction fees on Bonanza and how it works. Let's see. There's the Bonanza listing fees, but there's also a little chart. I just am not finding it fast enough that shows how their listings will show up on other platforms. Selling on Bonanza side, the seller fees. Those are transaction fees. Guide. Pricing. No. All right. I had a beautiful picture. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I've already done Bonanza training. So let me just find the picture because it's so much easier. Sidetrack for just 1 second because I think it's helpful for you to know, especially if you want to get some organic traffic to your listings, that you have the opportunity to use Bonanza and save yourself a little bit of the hassle, because Google Shopping can be a bit much. If you haven't run Google Ads, then you got to go through that process of the Google Ads. And with Bonanza, it's like it saves you a bunch of time. So I'm just going to take a minute to pull up the Bonanza training and show you a couple of things. That's it. I've done Google Shopping, I've done Bonanza, and I will tell you that Bonanza is a little bit easier than going through and doing the Google Shopping setup. So I have an image somewhere for a Bonanza and the fees. I just make sure I got it. Advertising, 2 seconds. All right. Thank you for your patience. Sidebar just for a second, and then we'll get back to it. Okay. No. All right. You guys gonna make me do it, aren't you? Yeah. That's not what I wanted to do. Should have brought this up first. Sorry. I promise. This may or may not help you. If you haven't listed on Bonanza, just something to think about. I gotta set up. Action, promotions, there we go. Okay, let me just show you this. And where's my thing? Here we go. It's not the pretty chart, but it is short and to the point. So basically, when you're listing on Bonanza, and when you go into your back office, you'll be able to see it. But if you allow them to take or a 9%, then you'll gain access to Google Shopping. So your items will show up on the Google Shopping search engine automatically, which is absolutely awesome. And 9%, I mean, though it feels like it's a lot, is actually not bad for your stuff to show up in Google Shopping versus what you would have to do if you do Google Ads. So if you do 13% they're saying publish to eBay, but your stuff is already on eBay, but it will allow your stuff to show up in like eBay promotions. And then if you do 19%, then your stuff will show up in Bing as well. If you don't know, Bing is owned by Microsoft. Microsoft now has partnered with ChatGPT. So I anticipate that Bing is, even though it kind of was defunct, kind of like Yahoo, if y'all remember Yahoo search, sort of defunct there, or what was it, AOL? I think if you remember that, kind of defunct. And so Bing is going to start getting a lot more traffic because of the fact that it is using, they're going to be putting ChatGPT behind that search engine, which means that's going to help sellers get a lot more traffic. And then if you do the 30%, which I don't recommend, then there's also some additional perks with that. So I just think if you decide that you're going to do, if you choose the advertising level of at least basic or standard, then that will help your listings on the different platforms get a little bit of a boost. There was, like I said, there was a graph, which I couldn't find my graph quick enough, but it just shows you what's going to happen and what percentage. So they wrote it out in text. You can see there, wasn't as fancy as I would like for it to be, but that's okay. Sorry, it works. So another way to get some organic traffic is to use some of the platforms. Put your stuff on eBay. It's easy to do. And then let your turn on the integration between eBay and Bonanza and push your stuff over to Bonanza and let Google Shopping help you. So that's my suggestion as far as organic. That's one of the things. The other thing with the organic traffic is, you've got to optimize your titles, optimize your listings, your descriptions. Naming your images is not going to hurt you. If you are focusing on a specific niche or holiday or theme or things like that, make sure that that is in the body of either the description or things like that. So when I think of things like great gifts for her, like I think of great gifts for her for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day, and also Christmas, and also birthdays. So those are 4 times of the year where those are easy, easy to maybe get your listing to show up because of the fact that you included the phrase, gifts for her or gifts for him or whatever it happens to be, or great gifts for women or things like that. So look at some of the listings, as I said before, in the previous sessions. Go through and look at your competitors' listing. Pay attention to how they phrase things, the titles, the descriptions, and don't just focus on the listing 100% on Etsy. If you're going to do some level of comparison so that you can get better at this creating listings that are going to drive you organic traffic, then make sure that you're going through the process of looking at a couple of listings on other platforms as well. So go see if you can find your specific listing or similar product, not exactly the same one, on eBay, or go see if you can find it on Facebook Marketplace, or go see if you can find it on Mercari or Poshmark, a similar product. Now those Mercari and Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace are going to have shorter listings, shorter descriptions. So again, maybe they're simplified and streamlined, and sometimes the simple is better. So take a look at that, get some ideas, listing ideas, titles, descriptions, so that it can help you get organic searches. And then the different platforms know what it is that they're looking for. When you're creating listings on Etsy, make sure that you're including tags. When you're creating listings on Amazon, make sure that you're populating all of the back-end search fields and intended use search, all the different search fields that are in the back office for your listing for Amazon when you're creating a listing from scratch. And if you're not creating a listing from scratch, maybe somebody else has got your similar product or your exact same product, on Amazon. If it's the exact same product and you decide you're going to piggyback, which again, with print on demand, we don't want to copy somebody else's design. Let me just say that first. But if for some reason you are, make sure that you update the back end keywords as well, or the search words and all of that. Another way to get eyeballs, more traffic to your listing is, in addition to the keywords and the search words, of course, search engine optimization. That's really optimizing your title and your description and all of the tags, keywords, hashtags, search words, all of that. And also naming your images. Make sure that you know what audience is really going to be interested in them and this item, whatever it happens to be. Whatever this product happens to be, make sure that you've incorporated who this is really for somewhere into the body and or the title. How is this audience searching for this particular item? Because that's going to help you to create a better listing over time. And remember, when we first start creating listings, we're not good at it. That's just a fact. That is the truth. And we get better over time with repetition. We don't get better over time with just doing it once or twice a year. It's consistently creating listings and consistently causing that part of your brain to spark new ideas and new ways of thinking. And so all of that marketing is going to bubble up to the top. And as you do this over and over again, and those ideas will come to you much quicker over time with consistency. You will struggle with the ideas and coming up with the words and figuring it out when you don't do this as often. Okay. So consistency is your key. That's going to be your best friend. In addition to that, some of the tools that we talked about, your eRank tools, Marmalade, those types of search keyword tools and tools that will help you to do a little bit of research, especially when it comes to Etsy. I mean, some of the search terms that the results that you get, the keywords that you get out of eRank won't hurt your listing on Amazon, won't hurt your listing on Walmart, won't hurt your listing on eBay or Bonanza. It may actually help it even more, even though you originally, got that subscription for the purposes of using it on Etsy. So again, don't overlook those tools that we've previously talked about. It's going to help you to create a much better, much stronger listing. So when you're looking at listings, as I've said before, when you go on to Etsy, if you're using Etsy as your starting base for the research and comparison, pull up the top 10, the first 10 that automatically, organically show up on their own. There's something about those. If you are creating, let's say, family recipe books. So maybe that's the way you typed it in the search, or, I don't know what other term, maybe crock pot ideas. Like if that's the type of book or printables or whatever that you're creating, just type that in the search for Etsy and review the title, description of the first 10 that organically show up. Very first 10. And then go over to some of the other platforms and pull up at least 5. Type in what you're going to type in and just see what comes up. Also pay attention to what automatically comes up on its own when you are typing organically. So if I am typing organically, which I got all these windows open for Bonanza and I didn't need them, but if I'm typing organically for, I'm just gonna go over here. So if I type in crock pot recipes, maybe that's what you're doing. So let me just stop. I start typing in crock, and I stop. The first 10 things that come up, crock pot, 10 quarts, liners, recipe book is the 6th most searched. So the way that it is written, crock pot, not crock space pot, crock pot recipe book matters because that is information that you could use when I go to Crockpot recipe books. If I'm creating a book on Crockpot recipes, then I'm going to skip all the sponsor, of course, and I'm going to go down to below the sponsor, and I'm going to look at least the first 5, look at the titles, the descriptions, and glean some ideas. I will do the same thing when I go over to Etsy. In the first, we're trying to come up organically, and we're also trying to, so I'm going to type in crock. I'm going to stop. So the first thing that comes up is crock, and then charms, and then packs and stoneware and charms and with lid and jugs. And then pot comes up about the 8th one down. Okay. So it comes up both ways. crock space pot and crock pot. So when you are doing things on the back end, make sure you make a note of that on Etsy, it's coming up both ways. So if I keep typing pot, then the next thing that is coming up is cover, slow cooker, carrier, insert, and that's an image, SVG, not J. If I do a space, finally recipes comes up, the sixth, and I didn't finish typing the word pot. It's the sixth one that comes up, okay? So before that, cover, insert, carrier, I'm very interested in all of these just to see what comes up on Etsy, that they come up before recipes, which I think is very interesting. So maybe somebody's crocheting a crock pot cover or doing custom crock pot covers or doing custom inserts or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, and then you've got the carrier. So clearly people are probably selling things to carry your crock pot in, because again, people tailgate, so they got to bring that crock pot and carry it around. But I think that's very interesting that it's the sixth one that comes up in the search before I run out of stuff to search for, which is really interesting. So that means maybe there is not as much, or maybe there is a lot of demand or search for crockpot stuff. When it finally comes up, I'm going to go through. I got a whole bunch of crockpots. So these are all vintage, because you can sell on Etsy vintage stuff. Anything that's over 20 years old is considered vintage. But recipes are no, oh, I didn't type in the word recipes. Recipes. Okay. Now we're going to maybe find something. All right. So now we've got some recipes, old books, more crockpots, a 6-day plan. Not a lot of recipe books. So that may or may not be an opportunity, maybe a better opportunity on Amazon. Who knows? But again, just looking through what comes up. And then I'm going to go to the other platforms again, selling strategies. I'm going to go in and I'm going to look up crock stop. So now crockpot comes up, no recipes, a bunch of crockpots come up. There's crockpot and with a space. And if I do POT, no recipes whatsoever. So probably under book crockpot, will this come up? Maybe. Book. Very interesting. So when I do book, crockpot recipe book comes up first. And again, you could create a book and sell it on, this is a spiral bound right here. But you can create a book and sell it on Etsy, on eBay, sorry. These all look like they're from crockpot, like crockpot itself. Interesting. Slow cooker. You probably do slow cooker is probably better, but also know the different ways in which it is referenced. That's going to help you knowing the different ways in which it's referenced. So just the first 10 ones that come up, study that, learn from it, and then build your listing and your title from it. Crockpot may not be it, maybe slow cooker, it may be something else. Instapot, all of them. Instapot has been trademarked, crockpot has been trademarked, but again, it also is a thing. So think about when you're doing, when you're selling a product, think about offering discounts and promotions, also upsells. So if a person buys a 10-pack, and especially if you have the ability to send them a follow-up email, because you bought this 10-pack, just wanted you to know that we have a 20-pack. Now that works out a whole lot better when you have your own website and or like you're doing Shopify, that upsell will automatically show up. You can also set up emails on some of the platforms, not all of them, where you can send a follow-up email to the person and say, hey, we wanted to let you know, you can get 20 of these for whatever. So you can offer upsells, just depends on the platform. So you want to know what you can and cannot do. Personalization and customization, that is going to make you money. I just went to my best friend's son's graduation. Okay. He has committed to Langston. And she had all these cute shirts of proud Langston, and then next to it in small words were dad and proud Langston mom and proud Langston. She had all of these shirts made. Proud Langston brother, proud Langston grandma, proud Langston granny, all of this stuff. And she had them wear these shirts, and they were taking pictures of it. So of course, she's gonna be mad at me that this is in the recording. And I said, did you do that in your own store? She was like, no. I was like, oh my God, I'm just gonna hurt you right now. But of course, we all get busy, blah, blah, blah. We don't have time. But the fact that she bought a bundle is my point that I'm trying to get to. So Renata, forgive me if you listen to the replay. But she bought a bundle, the fact that you can offer bundles, personalized bundles. There are a lot of kids who have committed to something. So if they are graduating from high school and they're committing to a specific college, maybe they got a track scholarship, maybe they got a football or basketball. All of those parents are looking for solutions. Do you know how many t-shirt bundles that you could probably sell in the month of March, April, and May? You probably had never thought about it. Probably not at all. I think right now, some of you are going, yeah. And that is so true, that you could have been selling bundles all these years, because kids graduate every year. Kids commit, if they're athletic, they commit to different colleges for whatever. If they are not athletic, maybe they are playing musical instruments, maybe they're in dance or drama, maybe they are, won the spelling bee contest. Like, all of those families want to have something to remember, and they are proud of that student who won the spelling bee. So yes, the cheesy picture where everybody's wearing the same shirts, that stuff sells. Family reunions, people get the same shirts. Like, they buy a packet of shirts, and everyone has shirts. But the point is, personalizations, customizations, that's another opportunity if you're going to do physical products. It can also be an opportunity if you are doing printables and downloadables, and it could potentially also be an opportunity if you're selling books. One of the most genius ideas that I saw over the last 5 years was the person who was doing personalized books for families that have family members that have Alzheimer's. It's a terrible, debilitating disease, dementia, and it happens over time. But having that family member record memories in audio form and then converting it into a customized book. Any of us could have come up with that idea. Any of us could probably still do that idea and give that book back to the family so that those memories are not lost. Like, that was ingenious when I saw it, like about 5 years ago. And I was like, man, why didn't that idea come to me first? But the point is, it's still a thing that can be done in your own way. And there are still families that are struggling with that. So early diagnosis, of course, makes it much easier. But the point is, customizations, personalizations, helpful, very helpful for many different reasons. Bridesmaids, groomsmen, family reunions, all kinds of stuff. When kids get adopted, like, just think through all the bundles that you could be selling and bundle deals. So I feel like 4 and 5 are buddies. They are best buds in the whole wide world. Another one is, social proof. Really, it's just sharing your stuff on social media. Proof, I think, is overrated in some ways, but anyway. And then customer service. So focusing on giving them a unique experience when they do business with you, regardless of whether you're doing it through Etsy or some other means. If they have a great experience, word of mouth never hurts. Never hurts. So I hope that you'll take some of those. I think marketing is the only other one that I think is, if you have the ability to establish a method of collecting the email addresses. And remember, there are a bunch of email marketing tools that are out there that will allow you to have a free account for up to 500 people. So again, if you fill up your first 500, go set up another account with a completely different provider and get another 500, especially if you're focusing on a niche, whichever one. If you're focusing on that, then collect the email addresses so you can reverse market to them. Okay. So paid traffic is another way you can go. Paid traffic, of course, is going to cost you a little bit of money. And so you just need to be prepared for the cost that's associated with it. You can do paid traffic on the platforms, and you can also do paid traffic in some of the back offices of the different platforms. But again, you just need to be prepared for the cost. And in order to do paid traffic and in order for it to be effective, you really need to know who your target audience is. Who is the person that's going to be buying this? And what are the words that they're going to be using to type into the search to find this thing? And because you need those keywords when you're running paid ads. And what is the pain point of the solution that you're going to give them? What's the emotional attachment that's going to cause this person to say, I need this thing? Okay. So I'm a Black woman with gray hair. My hair does its own thing. Like, it really does its own thing these days. And so I feel like gray hair could be unruly. And I think that's a challenge with people who have really coarse gray hair. It can be more coarse than regular hair, and it can be somewhat unruly. So a solution, if you were to make a custom print on demand headscarf, and I don't know, it's just a regular headscarf, maybe it's silk, whatever. But you want to focus on or hone in on the words that address my pain point, that makes me want to think, this is the headscarf that I need to buy. There is no other headscarf that exists in the universe that will solve my problem and keep my hair, wrapped up overnight, no matter what. Okay. And then the other thing is, I don't know why this is not on selling strategies, but you can also get testimonials. So that would be the other thing, is I would put email marketing and testimonials. Testimonials will help you along the way, especially if you have your own site. So the paid marketing, again, you need to know what their pain point is. You need to know what are the words or what's the solution that this product is going to solve. And you need to have the keywords in order for you to pay to get the results from paid traffic. You want results from paid traffic. And I would always start off small. Let me just say that. Start off with a low budget, small amount, and then you can scale. I would also split test to see if this ad gets a better response than this ad. So when you're deciding if you're going to do paid ads, do that, do a split test. And if you're not going to do paid ads, get good at keyword research and titling. Use some of the inexpensive tools that are out there to do the keyword research, and use the organic process of just typing in what it is that you're selling in the search engine and seeing what comes up automatically just by typing in the first couple of words. That information is helpful to know, and I would do it on every single one of the search boxes. I would do it on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify. I would do it on Walmart, not Shopify, but I would do it on all of them. Target. I would go to every single site if I was selling a product that was similar. So if I'm selling t-shirts, t-shirts are sold on Target. They're sold on all these different platforms. But if it's a specific t-shirt with a specific type of, maybe it's a Mother's Day, Proud Mama, or whatever, then I would just go see what are the words that are in the titles. Because again, department stores or big chain stores, they spend a lot of money on marketing. Use the information that they put in their listings to help you to make good listings too. I'm just saying. They got deep pockets. We don't. All right. So if you're going to run promotions on Etsy, a couple of things that you need to remember. This is the navigation to get through it. But again, you need to make sure you know who your target audience is. You need to make sure that you know what are the words that you're going to be putting into this ad, and also what your offer is ultimately going to be. So if you decide you're going to do promotions, again, what's the offer you're going to give them? Are you going to give them 20% off or 50% off or whatever it happens to be? So figure out what it is you want to offer and figure out how often you want to do it. As I said before, I would suggest you do a promotion at least once a week. Offer a promotion one week, offer a sale the next week, offer a promotion the 1 week, offer a sale the next week. So that way you can, if you're going to sell on Etsy, if you're not going to sell on Etsy, you're going to do eBay or some other platform. Again, you need to know what the words are, and I would set a very low budget. Okay. So with promotions, you're going to give them, there's going to be a promo code that they will use to get the discount. With sales, again, you need to say what percentage off you're going to give. So, we've all seen on the different platforms, 20% off, 11% off, 7% off. They do it on Amazon as well. They do it on Walmart. Like, you can see the sales. So you can see what the original price is, and it's intended to make it look like you're going to get a deal. And in most cases, it is a deal. But at the end of the day, it is also about that deal driving traffic to your store at the end of the day. So if the deal drives traffic to your store, especially on Etsy or any of the other platforms, what do you think is going to happen to your store? The platform is going to showcase your store a little bit more from time to time, organically, because they're like, oh, people are liking the stuff that this person is offering, or this sale is actually yielding some sales. This offer is yielding some sales. So let's show a couple of the other products that this person is selling. So again, getting good at that title and description is going to help you. And the more you offer, the more you're going to have some more your stuff show up organically in the searches. So make sure you're doing that as well. Okay. So these are the steps that you're going to go through to do sales on Etsy, and then you have them on other platforms as well. You can offer this weekend coming up. We have a Memorial Day weekend. So again, flash sales or Memorial Day sales, promotions. The Memorial Day sales have already started. So, you see them all the time. A limited time offer, deal, you can do that. So again, you can do this for any of the platforms where your product is listed. You can indicate that it's a clearance deal, and you can also offer free shipping. So there's so many different offerings. And if you have your own website, you can offer a free gift. And even if you don't have your own website, and let's say you're doing print on demand, and you want to, maybe it's t-shirts for a family reunion. So let's use that as an example. One of your free giveaways, if people buy your family reunion t-shirt bundle, is you could give them an ancestry chart, a printable ancestry chart, where they could fill it out at the family reunion. That is a cool bundle opportunity that they can get that as a downloadable. As soon as they buy, it automatically is emailed, of course, with printables. That's what happens. It automatically gets emailed to them. And their t-shirts are on order, and they're going to come in XYZ date, whatever that date is. And especially if you're doing a customized, you're going to be interacting with them anyway. So then they can give you feedback on that ancestry chart that they're working with. So again, or they maybe can tell you that they love it, and then you can make notes about that, maybe do a screen grab of that information and use that to help you to get other sales, especially if you created an email list. That kind of feedback is valuable. You can put those testimonials into the email that automatically goes out to people, telling them about your offers, or telling them about, different things. These are the new products we have in our store, or whatever it is, and share the feedback. Feedback never hurts, especially if it's good and it's positive. So, and you can also encourage your customers to go and rate the product, and also rate the store, and to type in their feedback into the site itself, the platform that you happen to be selling on. So again, all of those things are going to help you to get sales, all of the things. I hope that you'll go back and listen to the replay on some of the stuff. You can cut out that middle part where I was searching for the bonanza, but once I found it, we'll figure out how to clip that so we can get rid of the dead air for about 2 minutes. But my point is, again, these are great strategies to help you to get more traffic and eyeballs on your listings. That's really, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do. So with paid traffic, of course, it can help you to get instant results, target audiences, specific audience you need to know. It can also help you to scale slowly your business, and you can scale your paid ads slowly. When it comes to holidays, this is just a tip. You should know what your offer is going to be for any upcoming holidays. You should know that anywhere from 12, 10, or 8 weeks before the holiday hits. So the next major holiday is the 4th of July. If you're going to offer a 4th of July deal, this will be the time in which you start putting together your game plan, because then you can do your email marketing, you can do your social media marketing, you can figure out what your pricing is going to be. You can start have those designs already created if you're doing print on demand designs, and already know what your price points are going to be for those things. Now, that doesn't mean that your print on demand provider is not going to change prices, because they might offer a deal as well. I know that I think it was Printful or Printify, like one of the two, dropped some of their prices on some of their products. So again, always, an opportunity. In that way, you're ready and you're not scrambling 2 weeks before the holiday to figure things out. So get into the habit of planning things in advance. But anyway, it also gives you the opportunity to test. You could test multiple images before the holiday hits to figure out which one your audience resonated with. And so if there's 3 images and the third one was the one that the audience resonated with, that in advance you can put more money behind that paid ad over the other paid ads. Okay. And if you're struggling just to get familiar with and comfortable with Google ads and Bing ads and some of the other ads, because remember, you can do Pinterest ads. Pinterest is another platform where you can have clickable links. Pinterest ads, Instagram, Facebook ads, like all of those. This gives you the opportunity to know which one is the one that resonates and that you can put more dollars behind if you're doing paid traffic. So with paid traffic, most of the time it's PPC, pay per click. There's also pay per impression, so where it's visible versus pay per click. So that doesn't mean that they always have to click on it. Social media advertising, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, display ads. A lot of your display ads are going to be more tied to like Google and Bing and things like that. So Google ads, Google AdWords and things like that. And then influencer marketing. If you are working on this in advance, again, being prepared, connecting with the influencers that maybe will help you to get more traffic to your products, doing that in advance is going to help you. It also helps you stick to your budget as well, because then you know how much you're paying your influencer, which influencers are we going with, how much are we paying those influencers, and then that influencer maybe can help you with the buildup to the actual holiday. And here's the 4th of July deal or whatever, and they start promoting it the second to the last week in June, and so whatever it happens to be, you can negotiate all of that. So paid traffic is another way to get more eyeballs on your products. And if you're launching an Etsy store from the beginning, then I would suggest not necessarily doing this type of paid traffic, but considering, again, that weekly strategy of doing one promotion or one sale a week per product, and then being consistent about creating your listings. Okay, being consistent. All right, so cross-listing, cross-posting, sharing your products onto other platforms or in other communities. A couple of ways in which you can do that. Of course, we've talked about List Perfectly is one of those where you can cross-list your items onto other platforms naturally, Vendoo, SaleKit, all of those. Some people have Facebook groups, niche Facebook groups. I've talked about this before. I created a Facebook group. I was in the hospital with COVID. The Facebook group I created has now grown to over 7,000 people, I think, organically on its own. I didn't have to do anything to it. And then every once in a while, I'll drop in something that I know resonates with that audience. And so again, that gets you organic traffic. What is it that you like, enjoy, that you're passionate about, that you could potentially create a Facebook group where people will just organically show up on their own because they're just searching. Like when I was looking for solutions for my gray hair, or Facebook groups that, they were talking about gray hair and managing Black gray hair and things like that, I joined a Facebook. I joined like 5 of them. So you got to know that there are people that click with whatever your niche is. Whatever it is, there are people that click with, and you can create Facebook groups, and that's another way to share your products from time to time. And then, and or forums. So one of the most well-known sort of quasi forum type platforms is Reddit. And so, there's different discussion threads going on Reddit. And if you know how to use that platform, again, from time to time, you can put something out there that resonates. It's not about marketing to them every single day or every other day or even every week. It is about organically putting something out there that resonates with the vibe and the energy of that group at that time. So if everyone is getting ready, and I'm going back to the hair care Facebook group, if everybody's getting ready for the summer and trying to find those easy, carefree hair, not necessarily designs, but hairstyles that are going to help you with getting in the water and not really dry out your hair and all that other stuff, then putting out products that solve that problem, because that's what people are going to be talking about, because it's vacation time and this is the time of year that you'd be getting into the water and blah, blah, blah. So it makes it a whole lot easier. So think about the energy of that Facebook group and or the forum, and what is it that they're really talking about? What are they passionate about right now? So sharing your listings across social media is another way to get you some organic traffic, and also, a selling strategy. As I've mentioned before, you can also create your own Facebook business page with your products. So even though you have listings maybe on Etsy, you can also create those same listings on Facebook, or you can set up the integration so that those listings go automatically to your Facebook page so that they can buy them on Facebook instead of buying them on Etsy. They can buy them on Instagram instead of buying them on Etsy, or they can set up your integration from Pinterest to go to your Etsy store because, well, it's already there. Just make a clickable link. But my point is, there are many different ways in which to do this. Meta is happy to take your money. They already own the Facebook marketplace. So putting together your listings on a store on Facebook could potentially help you. So think about the different platforms. Don't overlook TikTok. Remember, you don't always have to show your face on TikTok, and you don't always have to physically have the product in your hands. If you have a way cool design for whatever it is, laptop cover, tumbler, water bottle, whatever it is, socks, like, you can show the image in animation, and that could be the video itself without physically ordering a sample. Now, I always encourage you, if you're doing physical products, definitely order a sample, but again, that's another way to get some more eyeballs on your listings. Now, I've talked about multiple platforms just now, and managing multiple accounts and also managing multiple platforms can become a bit much. It can. And if you don't have integrations in place like automation and webhooks, then you definitely want to make sure you at least have a VA, or maybe hire your kids for the summer to help you manage multiple accounts and manage running stuff on multiple platforms. That is so important, because the goal is for you to be massively successful. That's the goal. And again, managing it can create some challenges for you. And the best way to do that is where you have opportunities to integrate automation, definitely do that. We're going to be talking about automation a little bit more. Some of the tools that are out there, Integrament was the one that I used to use, and now they've converted over to Make. Make will allow you to set up some webhooks to automatically do things. I think people have heard of Zapier, and you can do integrations with Zapier that will automatically do things for you. I love that. You can also set up your, social media posts to have them scheduled out. So if you don't want to create a Facebook page and you want to drive traffic back to your Etsy store, but you got a Facebook fan page or an Instagram business page, then again, you can share the link and have that, except for on Instagram, be clickable. And also on Pinterest. So you can use tools like Hootsuite and Buffer to be able to share those listings across and have clickable links. And again, working with a VA does not hurt. So setting up as much automation is going to save you time. putting it into like automated mode is going to be helpful. If you don't have it automated, then you could potentially run into some challenges where if everything is standalone set up, then there might be an opportunity for mistakes and things not flowing the way that they should. So it's doable. It's entirely doable. There are a lot of people that have done it. But again, you need to have a system and a process in place in order to be successful with managing multiple accounts and selling your stuff on multiple platforms. Okay. So I mentioned bundles. I talked about bundles a lot, and I love bundles and I love the idea of opportunities for bundles. And trust me, if I'd known, I would definitely have created the designs for my friend, but she was so slammed and didn't. I just showed up and was surprised. But anyway, they were cute t-shirts, let me just tell you. And they were cute. We got a lot of pictures. But the point is, there's bundle opportunities everywhere you look. Companies are getting together for, outings and team building exercises, and they're all going to be wearing the same thing in some cases. And kids are going to summer camps, whether it is outdoor summer camps or indoor summer camps, like they give them a free t-shirt. That's part of registration for the summer camp. Bundle opportunities are everywhere. And so your goal as a seller is when you see the opportunity, when it comes to you, and it will naturally come to you with consistency. When you're consistent, you'll go, you know what, I should be selling 2 of these. Oh, man, I should offer this as a bundle. Like, it will come to you with consistency. When you don't do it as often, it doesn't come to you as quickly. It doesn't. So you're going to see more bundle opportunities, and your goal is to increase your average order value. That's the goal. That's what bundles do. They increase the average order value, so you don't feel like, I'm just listing this printable for $1.50. I'm never going to get rich off $1.50. No, you won't. But if you're consistent, you create 1 printable a day, every single day, 7 days a week. At the end of the year, you have 365 printables. Could I slice and dice those 365 printables into 9 different bundles or 12 or 15 different bundles? Absolutely. Could I sell them for $24, $25, $27, $34? Yeah, I could. So what if you had 20 bundles that were selling for $35? Not bad. Started with that little $1.50 printable. So you got to look at it differently. Bundles are a great opportunity. So we're going to move on from bundles. Subscriptions. If you are selling on your own platforms or you want to offer a subscription, subscriptions are another one that you could create opportunities when it comes to print on demand. So you want to be mindful of that. I don't think these are the right slides anymore. Oh my gosh, this is not the right slides. Okay. So there was some extra stuff in there. I did not remember that at all, but subscriptions are a great way to make extra money. I just don't remember the cat being in there at all. One of the people that I know that does a great subscription or started her own subscription, Dallas Gordon. A lot of you have heard of her, and she has this sort of a, I don't know what it's actually called anymore because it was like a junk something. But the point is, it's got like a planner in there, and they've got all these little like pencils and erasers and stickers and all this other stuff that goes together for those people who love to work in planners and journals and stuff like that. So it's great. So what do you need to focus on for the next 90 days? One more time. Build a schedule. Build a schedule. Building a schedule will change everything for you. You have to put together a game plan that says print on demand is for me, and I am going to be consistent in a print on demand business every single day, or 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, and I'm going to commit an hour or 2 hours. We went through the exercise in session 9 where I talked about if I worked X number of hours per day and I created X number of designs. I mean, I literally just went through it verbally again for the example of the downloadables, the printables. I don't want you to look at where you are 1 year from now and think, You know what? By now, I could have had 365 print on demand downloads done, downloadables done by now. But no, what got in my way? What stopped me? Because at this point, I have 20 different bundles from those 365 printables. Your business could be at a whole different level because you were that consistent with developing something. And is it going to take you hours to do that? No, if you commit, as I said before, in some cases, 15 minutes a day, in other cases, 30 minutes a day, just to create something new and put it up, create something new and put it up. And then at some point, start bundling that stuff together, offer it in different colors, offer it in different sizes, often mix and match. It becomes a thing for you. So build a schedule so that this is real and serious for you. Build a schedule that's based off of your life and not somebody else's life and not something somebody else told you. Build it based off of your realistic, true availability, not your, oh, I got to sit down and watch whatever, binge watch whatever on Netflix or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real committed time to your business. You have windows of time where you just veg out, or maybe you hang out on social media. Take that time back, reclaim it, and invest it into yourself and invest it in your business. I want you to close your eyes and think about what your business could look like 365 days from now, from today, and where your sales could have gone from. Even people building a YouTube channel have to start from somewhere. They start with 0 views. They start with 0 videos up. They start with nothing, but with consistency over time, getting better at the titles, getting better at the descriptions, getting better at the content, getting better at all of these different things. 365 days later, they maybe have 2,000 subscribers. They maybe have 1,000 subscribers. They maybe have 50,000 subscribers. Who knows? But they started from 0. You're starting from 0, and with consistency, you're going to create something amazing. But you have to be consistent for 365 days. Okay. Get organized, figure out which tools, and don't spend a lot of money up front for tools, but figure out which tools are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. Which ones you think you can get your ROI back on first. So this is the one, print on demand is the one way of doing e-commerce where I'm telling you, you got to spend maybe a little bit of money. I try not to have you spend any money, but you may have to spend a little bit of money. So you can get with Canva, I think it's like a 7-day or 14-day free trial. With eRank, I think you can set up with the free account initially, but again, there's going to be some level of investment. I'm not talking about $200 a month or $500 a month. I'm talking set a goal, something small. $25 a month is the max I will spend on tools, period. Or $15 a month is the max I will spend on tools, period. And I will do that for 6 months and see where it gets me. Then maybe in 6 months, I will increase it from $15 to $30 or $35. And then I'm going to see what that impact has on my business. Be methodical, be intentional about what it is that you do. You need to set some weekly targets, some daily targets, some monthly and some quarterly targets. How many listings do you want to, or how many products do you want to have created, or listings do you want to have up each day? We can start with that simple 2 listings a day. We've already talked about that. So 2 listings a day, 7 days a week. At the end of a year, that's 730 listings. The big stores have in common, those big Etsy stores, if we're talking about Etsy right now, that they have a lot of products up. That's a fact. They have a lot of products up. So when you're starting with 2 listings a day, you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. It's kind of like weight loss. I mean, let's be honest about it. You don't wake up tomorrow just from walking around the block once and you're 50 pounds lighter. That's not how this works. If you are working to lose weight, it takes a pound a day or a pound, 2 pounds a week. And you're just like, oh, that's going to take me forever. But with consistency over time, you're like, wow, 2 pounds a week. At the end of a year, 2 pounds a week is 104 pounds. That is noticeable. That's what consistency gets you. So Set some goals, set some targets. Don't fixate on the profit initially. Fixate on getting better at the tools, as I said before. Spend the first month or 2 months. If you can invest, 5 hours a day, that's different. But if you can invest 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, and that's all you can give your business, let's say you can only give your business 1 hour a day, then give yourself the grace and mercy for the first month or 2 months to really just get better at using the tools, understanding the platform, getting consistent, because it's going to take you that because you're not working as much in your business. But if you are working a lot in your business and you can throw 4 hours a day at it, then at the end of a month, you should really know a lot. And you should have gained some understanding about the platform or platforms that you're going to sell on. And then you can build from there. Whereas if you're going a slow road, there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, remember the tortoise always wins over the hare. The tortoise and the hare story. So give yourself the grace and mercy to do that. Monitor your progress for the first, at the end of each month. So again, depending on which one you are, whether you can invest 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, or whether you can invest 2 hours or 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 6 days a week, figure out which one you are. And maybe you review your results at the end of a quarter if you're going the slow road, or at the end of a month if you're going the faster road where you have more time to invest in your business. And then again, reassess where you are at the end of a quarter and a month. And in addition to that, plan a quarter in advance. If nothing else, I don't know why it doesn't say that here. Plan a quarter in advance. As you know, I said, these are not the right slides, but plan a quarter in advance. So when we're talking about upcoming holidays, upcoming major events, low-hanging fruit, use your eCom planner and go to the holidays, the daily holidays, the monthly holidays, and the international holidays. Use that section to make some strategic decisions on what types of designs you're going to put up if you still haven't figured out what your niche is going to be. Use that to give you some idea, and always work a quarter in advance. Okay. And then you need to get to the place where you're setting annual goals. So for the first couple of months, if you're going the slow road, give yourself at least 1 quarter, if not 2 quarters, before you set your annual goal. If you're going the fast route where you can invest 2 to 3 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, then at the end of a quarter, you can start building out what your annual goal is going to be. But I think it's too soon to try and build out an annual goal when you're starting from zero. It's too soon. That's too far in advance and you can't see it. You have to at least make some progress, and you have to at least get a little bit of traction and at least get 1 sale before you can actually say, hey, I can do this. This is real. This works for me. I can do this. Versus setting a yearly goal from day one and then not have made any progress. You will stop after, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you'll stop. You will. So let's just be consistent. Let's focus on just being consistent and building the habit of consistency, and then gradually building up to the place where we're at, making progress, and say, okay, I can now establish an annual goal. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use it. Can you tell me in the comments or in the chat, has this been helpful? Has this course been helpful for you? Has it given you some ideas? Has it helped you to see that you can actually do print on demand? Have you gotten value? And would you recommend this course to a friend? You can type that into the comments or in the chat, because I really just want to know, if this has been helpful for you, if you got value, if you believe that this course can help others to be able to make progress, including the over-the-shoulder stuff and also any of the one-on-one. All right. Well, I hope this has truly been helpful for you. I hope that you do make progress and you establish some really great goals for yourself and for your business. And I hope that you use it to scale your print on demand business. I hope that you use it to build an empire. Seriously. So with that, we're going to wrap up today's session, and I am thankful for each and every one of you. Looking forward to our automation session, which is next, where we're going to be using some AI to be able to do this print on demand thing that we've already done in the previous session. So with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Feel free to schedule your session, and I will talk with you later. Bye. Thanks again.